right, all around, very smart guy. We have my dear friend Kevin Warsh, former Federal Reserve governor and teaching school. You're still teaching school out at Stanford.
We start back to school next week, Larry.
And you an honorary Hoover Institute fellowship, whatever you are. You're just an all-around smart guy. So talking about all-around smart people, Larry Lindsey, I think you would agree with me. There's hardly anyone on the planet smarter than Larry Lindsey. He asks, is Jay Powell spiking the punch bowl? And I just want to add to that, the only dissent from the 50 basis points came from Mickey Bowman, who was a Republican, actually a Trump appointee. And she just said that she felt that declaring victory on inflation is premature. That was part of her dissent. The rest of it I leave up to you. Kevin Warsh.
So I thought it was a courageous dissent by Governor Bowman, and I applaud her for it. Never easy to dissent when the whole room is racing towards a big, important decision.
Right.
It's a courageous one. I give her credit. I think they spiked the punch bowl, and I also think they spiked a football. Somehow, after letting inflation get out of control, inflation get to 9%, as we're finally making some real progress towards inflation, prematurely they're saying, mission accomplished. We've got inflation licked. So in some sense, the choice they're making is they're going to take some risk that inflation comes back, which would do huge harm to hardworking Americans. And what's the benefit? To goose the stock market when it's already at its career highs? I think it's a bad trade-off. And if there was a single lesson they should have learned from the last 4 or 5 years, is they should be suspect of their own convictions and their own forecasts, and yet they're now acting without the kind of humility they should.
Humility was the word. It was in my head as you were saying that, and sure enough, you nailed it. You know, they could have done a quarter. They said that a half. Half-point changes, as you know, I'm just repeating this for our viewers. You know, you wrote the books on this, but half-point changes, one way or the other, are usually left for emergencies, like a COVID, for example, or 9/11, for example. They could have waited until the day after the election, would have had the same economic impact. I mean, the 6 weeks before the election, 1 day after the election. So I thought, Kevin, there were political overtones. Now, I have written myself that this was a Fed gift to Kamala Harris, or election gift. But if they had been more modest and humble, as you just put it, and done 25 basis points, fine. I don't think anybody, inflation has come down, so forth. Yes, 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 okay. On the other hand, doing 50 was like shock therapy, and it just seemed it had political overtones.
So I want to avoid sort of ascribing motives,
Yes.
but I will say the decision was a puzzling one because it contradicted almost everything they've taught us about their modus operandi, how they're going to do business. So what have they described their policy over the last several years? One is they said they're data dependent. Well, the data from the prior meeting to this meeting has gotten better. U.S. economy is doing better, not worse. So they said they were data dependent, but they didn't act it. Secondly, what did they tell us? That financial conditions are a good proxy for monetary policy. Financial conditions are the loosest they've been in the last 10 years. Financial conditions are looser today than when they started to raise interest rates 2 years ago. And so what did they do there? They made financial conditions still looser, which can lead to the risk of higher inflation. Third, what did they tell us? They said, we're going to get out of the forecasting business. That's why we made the mistake that we made. And yet, what are they making? Another forecast, and they're betting 50 basis points and a lot more that this forecast is going to be right. If they were good forecasters like Larry Lindsey, that might be something. But their forecasting record isn't so good. And maybe as a last contradiction that puzzles me, is in the very same press conference that Chairman Powell said he was cutting 50 basis points. What did he say about the economy? He said it was very strong.
Very strong. And so did the press release.
So I don't really understand the decision. Others can describe their motives, but it looks quite out of touch with what they've said is their way to make policy.
Let me just ask you a question. I want to put it in the context of presidential and campaign policies. If the Fed, you look at the dots plots, okay, and they're basically going to take the Fed funds rate down to 3%, actually a little less than 3%. Got as high as 5.25 to a half. That's what they're saying over the next couple years. So almost a 50%, almost halving it. Okay, now, if you have a Kamala Harris who had an economic speech before the Democratic convention, she's going to spend $2 trillion and raise taxes $5 trillion. She's going to spend $2 trillion, was in her plan. That's besides the price controls. $2 trillion of spending and $5 trillion of higher taxes. How would that do? The Fed putting money into the economy by halving the Fed funds rate in the next couple of years. What would the outcome be in economic terms? And I want to ask you the same with Trump. Trump, in general terms, wants to cut spending and cut taxes. Okay, so you got two different policies. I don't know who's going to win the thing. I know who I would like to win, but I don't know who's going to win yet, and so forth. Walk through as quickly as you can. Walk through. What does that mean? If the Fed's going to be this easy and they're telling us ahead of time?
Well, we don't really have to make much of a forecast. We can look back. What have been the policies of the last 4 years? We saw a massive increase in spending and a massive amount of money printing by the Fed. Well, what did we get? We got more inflation. So if you double down on those policies, we should expect a very similar result. If you then raise taxes more significantly in the next 4 years, what are you going to do? You're going to hurt the real side of the economy. That sounds like a mix of stagflation, and it certainly doesn't sound like what the economy needs.
Too much money chasing too few goods. That's the way I read it. And spiking the punch bowl. I don't know how you get around that. I know you're much too nice a guy, and you don't want to ascribe motives, but I have called it political, and I'm going to continue to call it political. I think Jay Powell made a very big mistake. And you're right, Mickey Bowman deserves some kudos on that. Kevin Warsh, the smartest of the smart, folks. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks,
Good
Larry.
to see you on set.